feel you disrespected. And since you want to be disrespectful, then they got things that deal with people who want to be disrespectful. So we could do it like gentlemen, or we could just do it like, how you want to do it.
And Wayne was damn near saying he was Rockefeller, and then it just went left.
The truth is that, after I had a meeting with Wayne, I felt it was only right to call him. Mm-hmm. I called him out of respect, like, yo, I was talking to Wayne, just letting you know, boom, boom, boom. So after that, I think we received a letter at our office for like torturous interference, and it just all went from there. But I think I would rather lose that situation and do the right thing than the opposite. Because I think I could have signed him and then told him after. But I did the right thing, and I'm cool with that decision.
That clip you just heard, that was Birdman firing back at a diss Jay-Z dropped way back in 2011. But what started as a few sharp lyrics and some quiet courtroom drama has now grown into something way bigger than anyone ever imagined. And now, with brand new footage leaking online, everything we thought we knew about this feud has completely changed. So let's get into what people are now calling the Empire War. This shocking video that just took over the internet didn't appear out of nowhere. It came straight from cracks that have been forming for more than 20 years. We're talking 2 decades of tension, 3 massive lawsuits, countless diss lines, and the rise of some of the most powerful empires hip-hop has ever seen. To really understand why Jay-Z and Birdman allegedly ended up face-to-face at a private industry event that witnesses say turned totally chaotic, you have to go back to the very beginning. This war didn't start with a punch. It started with a contract. The story takes us back to 2006. Lil Wayne's original Cash Money deal was coming to an end. Wayne was already becoming a superstar, and everyone could see it. He wasn't just hot, he was the future of Southern hip-hop, and Jay-Z knew it. At the time, Jay-Z was the president of Def Jam, and when he saw Wayne's contract situation, he saw an opening. Jay didn't send assistants. He didn't play from a distance. He showed up himself. He personally invited Wayne to the Rockefeller offices and sat him down for private talks. Jay painted a big picture. He talked about legacy, about power, about what it would mean for Wayne to join forces with Rockefeller and step onto a global stage like never before. From a business view, it was smart. From Jay's view, it was a power move. But to Birdman, that move felt like betrayal. Birdman didn't see this as regular music competition. To him, Jay-Z wasn't just trying to sign an artist. He was trying to take away family. Birdman had raised Wayne since he was a kid. He watched him grow. He helped shape him. Cash Money wasn't just a label. It was a family business that Birdman and his brother Slim built from the ground up in 1991. So when Birdman found out Jay-Z was talking to Wayne behind the scenes, he didn't stay quiet. He fired back with lawyers. He sent Jay-Z a legal warning accusing him of trying to interfere with another man's business on purpose. That single letter changed everything. From that moment on, the respect was gone. What followed wasn't loud at first. It was cold, quiet, but the tension never left. In the end, Wayne made his choice. He stayed with Birdman. He re-signed with Cash Money. Wayne showed loyalty to the man he always called his father figure, the man who believed in him when he was just a kid recording verses. That decision kept the Cash Money empire strong, but it also planted something dangerous under the surface. Resentment. Fast forward to 2009. MTV named Jay-Z the hottest rapper alive, and Birdman did not like that at all. He wasn't just annoyed. He felt disrespected. In an interview that year, Birdman pushed back hard. He said Jay-Z wasn't number one in any way. He said Lil Wayne was the best. He said Wayne made more music, more hits, and more money. That comment wasn't just about skill. It was about power. Birdman made it clear. For him, hip-hop wasn't about lyrics. It was about money. And that's when things turned ugly. In 2011, Jay-Z and Kanye West dropped Watch the Throne. On one song, Jay dropped a single line that exploded the internet. He joked that Birdman had baby money, and that even Beyoncé alone had more money than him. That line hit hard. It wasn't just a diss, It was humiliation. Jay wasn't attacking Birdman's music, he was attacking his status, his empire, his pride. Birdman tried to laugh it off publicly, but the damage was done. Then Lil Wayne stepped in, and everything crossed a line. On the Carter IV, Wayne fired back with a lyric that shocked everyone. He didn't just respond, he went personal. He mentioned Jay-Z's wife, and in hip-hop, that's something most artists never do. Suddenly, this wasn't about music anymore. It was about ego, about family, about respect. Jay-Z didn't respond right away. He went quiet. For nearly 2 years, he said nothing. People wondered if he was ignoring it or waiting. Then in 2013, Jay finally answered with one calm, icy line. No yelling, no anger, just sarcasm. It was clear. He hadn't forgot. For a while, it seemed like the war would stay inside the music. But then the real explosion happened. Not between Jay and Wayne, but between Wayne and Birdman. By 2014, Wayne publicly said he felt trapped. He said he couldn't release his own album. He said Cash Money was holding him back. The man he once called a father had become his biggest obstacle. In 2015, Wayne sued Birdman for $51 million. The lawsuit revealed shocking details. Wayne claimed Birdman had misused money that was supposed to support Young Money, the label that housed Drake and Nicki Minaj. Money meant for the whole team was allegedly being taken by one person. What was once a brotherhood turned into a legal battlefield. Reports claimed Birdman kept around $70 million out of a $100 million deal, leaving Wayne's artists fighting over what was left. Even while Drake and Nicki were breaking records, the foundation beneath them was cracking. That's when Jay-Z stepped back in. In 2015, Jay made a bold move. He released Wayne's Free Weezy album on Tidal. This wasn't just business. It was a message. Jay gave Wayne freedom when his own label wouldn't. Birdman responded with another lawsuit, this time against Jay-Z, but it failed. The case was dismissed. Jay walked away untouched. Then things turned dark. Wayne's tour bus was shot at. People whispered about connections. Nothing was proven, but the streets talked. Around the same time, reports surfaced that Jay-Z quietly paid $14 million in Wayne's back taxes. Whether it was loyalty or strategy, it pulled Wayne even further from Birdman. Fast forward again to 2024. The NFL announced Kendrick Lamar would headline the Super Bowl. The location: New Orleans, Lil Wayne's hometown. Jay-Z's company controls the halftime show, so when Wayne wasn't chosen, people noticed. Birdman noticed. Nicki noticed. Birdman posted online, calling everyone out. Nicki followed, accusing Jay of being petty. Fans connected the dots to the Drake versus Kendrick war that had just shaken the culture. Wayne finally spoke, and his words hurt. He said he truly believed that Super Bowl stage was meant for him, his city, his moment, his legacy, and losing it felt like betrayal. This isn't over. Not even close. This was just episode 1 of the Empire War. Episode 2. It's already loading. Perfect. Below are 2 separate sections. Hook, words. Body, words. Written in very simple, clear language that a 10-year-old can understand, but still dramatic, emotional, and high retention for YouTube storytelling. Fire hook, approximately 700 words. What if one music deal, one decision, one silent grudge, could secretly shape hip-hop for 20 years? Because that's exactly what happened here. What you're about to hear is not just another rap beef. This is not just about diss tracks or ego. This is a story about power, money, loyalty, and betrayal, and how 3 of the biggest names in hip-hop became locked in a war that never really ended. Most people think this story started with a rap lyric. Some think it started with a lawsuit. Others think it started with the Super Bowl snub. But the truth is, this war started quietly, behind closed doors, long before anyone noticed. A long time ago, Lil Wayne was just a kid with talent and dreams. Birdman took him in, raised him in the music game, and helped turn him into a star. To Wayne, Birdman wasn't just a boss. He was family, a father figure, someone he trusted with his life and career. Then came Jay-Z. Jay-Z wasn't just another rapper. He was becoming something bigger, an executive, a businessman, a kingmaker. And when he saw Lil Wayne's contract getting close to ending, he saw opportunity. Jay didn't ask for permission. He didn't warn anyone. He made his move. Private meetings, quiet talks, big promises. From the outside, it looked like business. From Birdman's side, it felt like betrayal. And that's where everything changed. What started as tension slowly turned into resentment. Resentment turned into subliminal shots. Shots turned into diss tracks. Diss tracks turned into lawsuits. And lawsuits turned into something much darker. Money went missing. Artists felt trapped. Empires started cracking. Then came a single rap line that embarrassed Birdman on a global level. A line that made it sound like his money didn't matter, like his empire was small. That line didn't just hurt pride. It lit a fuse. Lil Wayne jumped in. And when he did, he crossed a line no one expected. Suddenly, this wasn't just rap. This was personal. Jay-Z went silent. Birdman got louder. Wayne got caught in the middle. Years passed. But the war never cooled down. Then everything exploded again. Lil Wayne sued Birdman for $51 million. Accusations of stolen money hit the internet. Drake and Nicki Minaj were pulled into the chaos. And just when it looked like things couldn't get crazier, Jay-Z stepped back in. He gave Wayne freedom. He gave him a platform. And he took another shot at Birdman without saying a word. Fast forward to today. The Super Bowl. Lil Wayne's hometown. The biggest stage in the world. And Wayne wasn't chosen. Instead, Kendrick Lamar, the same rapper who just destroyed Drake, was picked. And Jay-Z was the man who signed off on it. Coincidence? Or the final move in a war that's been building for decades? Birdman spoke. Nicki Minaj spoke. Wayne spoke. And the pain in Wayne's voice made one thing clear. This isn't over. It was never over. This is not just history. This is an empire war that's still happening right now. And once you understand the full story, you'll never look at hip-hop power the same way again. To understand how this empire war really began, we have to go back to the moment everything quietly shifted. In 2006, Lil Wayne was already becoming unstoppable. His music was everywhere. His influence was growing fast. And most importantly, his contract with Cash Money Records was almost finished. That detail mattered more than anyone realized at the time. Jay-Z was the president of Def Jam then. He wasn't just thinking like a rapper anymore, he was thinking like a chess player. And when he saw Wayne's contract situation, he saw the biggest move of his career. Jay personally reached out to Wayne. He invited him into the Rockefeller offices. No cameras, no headlines, just private talks about the future. Jay talked about legacy, about ownership, about power beyond music. To Jay, this was business. To Birdman, it was crossing the line. Birdman had been with Wayne since he was a child. He helped shape his career. He believed he owned not just the contract, but the loyalty. So when Birdman found out Jay-Z was talking to Wayne behind the scenes, he felt disrespected. He felt attacked, and instead of responding with music, he responded with lawyers. Birdman sent Jay-Z a legal warning, accusing him of trying to steal Wayne. That letter didn't start the war, but it locked it in. Wayne eventually chose to stay with Cash Money. He re-signed, publicly showed loyalty to Birdman. The empire survived, but something broke underneath. A few years later, Birdman openly challenged Jay-Z's status. He said Wayne was the real king. He said Wayne made more money. He turned hip-hop into a money contest. Jay-Z answered with one cold lyric in 2011. He mocked Birdman's wealth and compared it to Beyoncé's money. That one line embarrassed Birdman in front of the entire world. Then Lil Wayne responded. And that response shocked everyone. Wayne's lyric felt too personal, too far. Even fans knew something had changed. Jay-Z didn't respond immediately. He waited. Then, years later, he dropped a calm but sharp reply. No shouting, just confidence. For a moment, it seemed like the beef might fade. But the real damage was happening behind the scenes. By 2014, Wayne said he felt trapped. He said Birdman wouldn't let him release music. He said money was missing. In 2015, he sued Birdman for $51 million. The lawsuit exposed ugly details. Money meant for Young Money artists was allegedly taken. Drake and Nicki were caught in the middle. The empire was cracking from the inside. That's when Jay-Z stepped in again. He released Wayne's music on Tidal, giving him freedom Birdman wouldn't. Birdman sued Jay. The case failed. Years later, Jay-Z quietly helped Wayne pay millions in back taxes. Fast forward to the Super Bowl announcement. Kendrick Lamar. New Orleans. Jay-Z in control. Wayne felt crushed. And that's why this story isn't over. Because this war was never just about music. It was about who controls the empire. Below is a long-form call to action, 1,000 words, written in the same dramatic, cinematic tone, but with simple language so even a 10-year-old can understand, while still being perfect for YouTube retention, comments, and shares. And now that you've heard the full story, take a second and really think about this. This wasn't just a rap beef. This wasn't just a contract dispute. This wasn't just about who rapped better or who had more money. This was about control. This was about who gets to decide who rises and who gets left behind. For more than 20 years, these moves were happening quietly, behind studio doors, inside boardrooms, through lawyers, contracts, and power plays that most fans never see. While we were arguing about lyrics, these men were shaping the future of hip-hop itself. And that's why this story matters. Because if it can happen to Lil Wayne, one of the greatest artists of all time, it can happen to anyone. Wayne gave everything to the game. His voice, his youth, his loyalty. He trusted people he thought were family. And in the end, he found himself calling his own situation a prison. Imagine that, being one of the biggest stars in the world and still feeling trapped. That pain you heard in his voice when he talked about the Super Bowl. That wasn't fake. That wasn't for attention. That was a man realizing that moments he thought were promised were never guaranteed. And that's why this conversation doesn't stop here. Because this empire war is still unfolding right now. There are still deals happening in silence. Still grudges that never healed. Still power moves being made, while the public only sees the surface. So if you care about real hip-hop history, not just the hits, but the truth behind them, this is where you come in. If this story opened your eyes, even a little. If it made you see the industry differently. If it made you question how power really works in music, then don't just watch silently. Smash that like button so this story reaches more people who deserve to know the truth. Every like tells the algorithm, this matters. Every like helps push real stories over fake headlines. Subscribe to the channel if you want more deep dives like this. Because this channel isn't about gossip. It's about breaking down the stories behind the headlines. The wars behind the wins. The pain behind the platinum plaques. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss what comes next. Because episode 2 is already loading. And it goes even deeper. We're talking about things most platforms don't want to touch. More receipts. More power plays. More names pulled into the fire. Drop a comment right now and tell me what you think. Was Jay-Z playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers? Did Birdman protect his empire or destroy it from the inside? Was Lil Wayne betrayed, or was he just caught between two giants? I want to hear your perspective. And don't just say facts or crazy. Tell your side of the story. Because hip-hop lives in the conversation. Share this video with someone who loves real hip-hop. Send it to that friend who knows every Wayne verse. That friend who still debates Jay-Z's legacy. That friend who watched the Drake versus Kendrick war and felt something bigger was happening. Let's get people talking. Because silence is how these stories stay buried. And before you click away, remember this. What we covered today wasn't ancient history. It wasn't a closed chapter. It's still happening. The Super Bowl decision wasn't random. The tension online isn't fake. The posts, the comments, the reactions, they're all part of something bigger. This is an empire war that never truly ended. And the next episode, it might involve names you never expected. Moves that change legacies forever. And consequences that will shock the culture. So stay right here. Stay curious. Stay questioning. Stay connected. Because hip-hop isn't just music. It's power. It's politics. It's people. And if you're here for the real story, you're in the right place. Episode 2 is coming. And trust me, it's about to get even crazier.